article talking about how, due to our mild winters this year, we can expect a heavier than normal fly and insect population, which didn't really have the long-term killing frosts that we should have had. And so I just wanted to have a little conversation around what we can do to mitigate that to the extent that we can. I really want to talk about the use of broad spectrum insecticides and how that can actually really work against us as equine property managers, because they're indiscriminate about what they kill. And it knocks out entire populations that can actually be helping us out when allowed to kind of flourish on their own. We see a lot of pest species come in, and they have to come in first. And then people kind of panic, and we spray insecticides and, we spray herbicides on, weeds we don't like and all these other things. And it throws everything out of whack and then doesn't allow for our beneficial predators to come in behind them like they normally would. So talking about our stable flies, they are in the family of what we call filth flies. So they are attracted to and lay their eggs in the barn, rotting hay and manure, and fruit flies and gnats are attracted to garbage and fruit, vinegars, those sorts of things. Grains are another big thing. So one of the ways that we can manage our fly population naturally is by composting our manure, picking up our fields, dragging our fields and spreading them in the summers especially. They need moist environments to grow and hatch their eggs. So if we're able to spread those out and get them dried out, it will eliminate a lot of their nesting sites, which can help interrupt their breeding cycle. But if we're going to be here, we're going to have flies. I don't think there's anything that's going to entirely get rid of them. But what we can do is also encourage some of our wildlife neighbors to help us out during this process. Obviously, a lot of birds, even ones that are not traditionally or always insectivores, birds who often eat seeds and grains and fruits during other parts of the year, during their nesting seasons, when they are feeding their babies, they need more protein. So most birds, not all, but most birds actually do use insects and caterpillars and those sorts of things during that time of year, which is spring and early summer, the same time of year that we're being bombarded with flies and midges and those sorts of things here. So keeping a healthy bug population is also critical to keeping a healthy bird population. So everything's kind of working in tandem here. Similarly, dragonflies are another major hunter of flies and midges and small insects. They will also eat some small butterflies and things like that, but they are voracious predators. They have a capture rate of around 95% of the prey that they are hunting, which I read somewhere that lions have like a 25% and like sharks are like a 50% rate of capture. So your dragonflies are out there on your side, kicking butt, eating flies, eating mosquitoes, and obviously if you're spraying broad spectrum insecticides, you are knocking them out too. Tough thing about dragonflies is that they spend a large portion of their life in the nymph stage and larval stage, which they both do in water. And I know that we want to throw mosquito dunks and those sorts of things into puddles and stuff, but that is also where dragonflies live. So you just got to play that by ear and kind of find a balance there where we can host those species without adding to the mosquito population. But just know if you're seeing dragonflies out, they're on your side. Another kind of one of those could be considered a pest species are barn swallows. I've seen a lot of articles about how to get rid of barn swallows. Another aerial hunter who is out there on your side helping you out. We have a couple who live here on our property, and I'm always really excited to see them pop up every spring. When I go and I mow our fields, they tend to follow along with me and do their aerial dance and eat all the bugs that my lawnmower kicks up. So I feel like hopefully they consider me a beneficial species too. I don't know. But anyway, just wanted to kind of toss out a couple, basic ideas around how we can help manage our possible insect population this year. Obviously, on our horses' side, we can do things that are non-insecticidal, like fly sheets, fly masks, boots, those sorts of things. The other big thing that I find has really helped my horses is providing adequate shelter during the summer. I know we all are very concerned about providing shelter during the winter and during the very cold months, but where I find our shelter getting used the most, based on how much poop I have to take out of it, is during the summer. It is hard for flies to navigate allegedly in the dark, which is why they're mostly active during the day. So having a shaded area where the horses can get into. We have fans. The midges are not aggressive flyers, so a windy day or good fans can really help out. So I want to make sure that everyone is taking the time to really look at their setup and making sure that their horses have access to shelter in the summer to get, number one, out of the heat, but also out of the flies. Thanks so much for hanging with me. I have to go deal with this dog.